Hi, folks. Another day, another podcast, and another amazing guest in our studio today. And it means that we are recording another episode of Innovation Blueprint podcast with ORIL. And our today's guest is Roey Granot. Give a bigger round of applause, as I always say, and that's not a lot of people around. However, we always very warmly greeting our guests. So, hi, Roey. Say hello to our listeners.
Hello, listeners. Hello, Yuri. Thank you so much for inviting me for this.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining our conversation. That's pretty cool because we went through the services that you guys provide in your product, and for us, that's look pretty amazing. We work in the technical world, in the PropTech domain, and we know a lot of solutions on market. However, yours is pretty unique and very interesting. And today, I hope you're going to share with us a little bit more insights about the product, about the benefits of the product, and actually where the idea came from. So, let me tell me a little bit more about yourself, Java guest. In your bio, it says that you're co-founder and vice president of operations and strategic accounts in the company with the name QBIQ. And profile of your company says that QBIQ is the first architectural AI platforms that allows brokers, landlords, architects, general contractors, and tenants to easily envision the full potential of any space in a minute. And that sounds like a pretty cool commercial. However, can you please us tell what exactly does it mean and what exactly you guys do?
I'll be happy to. So first of all, just in a general concept of it, what we do is automate real estate layout plans. That's Cubic in a nutshell. We enable anyone to plan, visualize, and optimize any given space. Now, just to put it in context, we focus on the transaction stage. And this is when we talk about why we thought about the company, you'll understand why we focus there. Where if you're looking for a space, doesn't matter if it's logistics, office, residential, retail, doesn't really matter. You're probably evaluating, I don't know, 5, 15 spaces, properties. Now, manually assessing each one of them is just physically impossible. You just can't do that. And what you're actually doing is you're making the one of the most important decisions of your life, most expensive ones probably in your life, and you're doing it blindfolded without knowing all the knowledge. You're just trying to use your unexperienced imagination in order to get to decide it. And this is actually what we come in. We help you make a more informed decision on the transaction side. So when you see a space, we help you see the potential of it. Multiple layout alternatives, show you a virtual tour of how it would look like with your programmatic requirements, and optimize it and really see the potential so you know which property is more relevant to you than the other. That's just in a nutshell what Cubic is. We currently focus only on office space. Down the road, we'll go into different verticals, but that's where we currently focus our efforts.
Okay, that sounds pretty basic because I know that you guys do a lot of things. And again, on your website, I found the numbers and they sound pretty impressive to me. It says that you guys delivered 10 million square feet to customers every month. And since 2021, you delivered 11 billion square feet floor plans generated by your product. Is that everything correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'll just inform the 11 is what billion we generated on our platform. We deliver to customer till date roughly 400 million square footage. So that's actual customers delivered to them, paid customers, all of that 400 million. And we're actually the 10 million is kind of out of date. We now have days where we surpass in a single day 2 million square foot. So we're getting a lot of volume inside our platform, which enables us to have a lot of data and that we can really leverage it into understanding the efficiency and what the trends are in the real estate side on the office space.
Yeah. Talking about the efficiency, it says that you reduces 40% of time for your real estate deal cycles. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we actually have even published one of our customers, Tetris, which is a JLL company, actually published that we reduced by 60% for them. They published it outside. We didn't even know they're going to publish it. That was nice. But exactly, this is depending on where you are. These are more, let's say, for the architects themselves who are using us to leverage their capabilities. When you're looking at the other type of customers, for example, the owners, the brokers, we're enabling something that they just didn't have before. We're just giving them an option to play, and then it's not a question of numbers because they didn't have the option before it. They're just getting a better ROI on their time and property.
Okay. Yeah. And talking about the properties, and I've seen that you guys working with a lot of commercial real estate too. And who's the main client are you guys aiming? Is that some multifamily buildings? Is that some commercial buildings? Or maybe that's, I don't know, even airports and stadiums?
Mhm. So it's a funny question because in the beginning our goal was how to get transaction quicker, make a more informed decision. So it just helps the occupier decide if the space is relevant for them. And we thought our main customers would be brokers because brokers want to close the deal as quickly as possible. What amazed us is it's a huge bottleneck in many transactions. So then we had owners themselves approaching us saying, okay, I know there's now co-working companies in my region looking for a space. I need to generate marketing materials for that. Can I use Cubic for that? Sure. Then you have a test fit. Customer comes and I want this programmatic requirement. Can I use Cubic for that? Of course. And then you have architectural firm. Wait, with Cubic I can do like twice as much. Wow, that's amazing. And then we have the occupiers themselves who say, okay, I have a 200 book of layout of let's say guidelines, rule based, which furniture I use, the circulation, how the room setups is, everything. Can I put it into Cubic as do a customization, getting into Cubic? Yeah, sure. So then we have also customers that we have their full playbook in our system, and they can evaluate, let's say, buildings, properties in a matter of minutes. So what amazed us is the amount of bottleneck it's in real estate transactions. Doesn't matter if you're the occupier, the broker, the architect, the design and build, all of them are just using exactly the same platform. They are using it in different spectrums. We dumb it down, or I don't know, like to use dumb too much, but we make it so easy that anyone can log in and just, okay, I want a conceptual plan for 300 people for a high-tech firm. Sure, that's enough. But if you have an architect who says, I want specific things, keep this room here, I want desk sizes to be this amount, I want this amount of conference rooms, that's okay. So the platform is you can dive deep as much as you want, or you can just be very, very generalistic. So that's why it caters to both of the type of customers, the sophisticated and the non-professional.
Okay, that's pretty cool. That is so easy to use, and I really love it. And you said in the beginning you're aiming for brokers, but tell me about the real beginning. Where idea came from? When did you decide that you guys want to create this product?
So it's a kind of funny story, and it's two stories diverge. There's one with the CEO, our founder, who he wanted to buy an apartment in Ramat Gan, which is a city in Israel, and he wanted to divide it into 3 different spaces. So he went to an architect, says, okay, before I buy this apartment, can you have a look if it's feasible? And the architect says, no, I only do after you buy the space,
Right.
then I can look at what's feasible. But I need to make this decision so I know if to buy it or not. So he said, okay, I'll be back to you in like 2 weeks. I was like, no, I needed to know today because we're bidding on it. So went to another architect and just found that there's just no one that can give him, today, if this fits. He said, I don't need an architectural plan. I just need to know that it fits. So that's where he came with, okay, I have programmatic requirements. I have a space. Let's automate this. And this is before, all the AI tools came out. So this was before it's like our team has lots of background in AI, machine learning, much before it was trendy. So they were like, okay, we can find a solution for that. And that's where he came in. On my story, I was just looking for an apartment, my first apartment ever, and it was pre-built. So the developer said, okay, you can do whatever you want. It's like, how do I know what to do? It's like, what are my options? What can I move? It's like, no, and an architect doesn't care about doing that type of work before you acquire the space. So it was a pain point from him and for me, both ways in different directions. But at the end of the day, you just need to make a more informed decision. And that's why we said, okay, let's, Cubic. That's exactly it.
That's actually my next question. QBIQ, you pronounce this cubic. What does it mean?
So it comes from the word cubicle, but it doesn't have too much history to it. It was just a cool name. I think that we just stuck with it and we decided to carry on with it. As we grew, we changed our logo, I think like 3 or 4 times, but we kept the name. We even did the rebranding like half a year ago.
Okay. And while you've been scaling your solution, did you guys add a lot of features, or you just made the solution more scalable? Which way did you guys go through?
So that's a great question. One of the things that we found is going back to what we talked in the beginning about the playbook thing. We thought that, okay, let's do like a generic layouts for everyone. But then we had like a large customer, a large occupier coming and saying, okay, no, I don't want the generic one. I know exactly how many desks I put alongside. I know what furniture. It doesn't help me your platform. That doesn't help me. I need my playbook. So we built the option to customize the platform, to integrate their rule books and furniture pieces into our platform. That was from the one side. On the other side, we also had the landlords who said, wow, you have amazing finishes, but it doesn't look like my finishes. And when I show something to a tenant, I want him to see that it's actually my finishes, so my designs. So we actually also built a large library where the owner can just choose the type of designs that simulate like how the building looks like and feels. And added more and more features like we found out that the view is very important for many different customers. So we added a feature where you can just take an iPhone photo, the view from the window, and that's in the virtual tour. That's an example. So adding more and more features and understanding the workflow of our customers to really be part of it. That was the biggest hurdle for the company.
Yeah, that's actually, I think, like a half of the answer on my next question. What makes you guys different compared to the rest of competitors and players on the market? Because we attended a lot of conferences and we've seen some, I wouldn't say the same, but similar solution who tries to provide something similar. So what helps you to stand apart?
So there's quite a few differences, but the main difference is there's 2 of them. One of them is we cater to the non-professional. We have professional users, but also non-professional. Most of the tools out there, it helps an architect go and like move rooms around, move chairs, desk, whatever he needed. But it doesn't do the full solution. It doesn't, I need a layout plan, give me a layout plan. It doesn't do that. It helps him. So first of all, so that's one thing. We provide a full solution. So you're getting the layout, the virtual tours. Doesn't matter if you're a 80 years old broker in San Diego or you're just the most sophisticated architect, you can use our platform. That's one side. The other side of it, where we pride ourselves, is what we call the man in the loop. I probably use ChatGPT and all the AI tools out there. They can get you like 80% there, 90% there, sometimes 50% there, but it always needs those tweaks before you can use it. Now, if you're going to send someone a layout plan that is 80% accurate, it's 0 value. If there's a chair in the middle of the wall, he's going to throw that out. Doesn't matter if it's the most amazing plan, he doesn't care.
Sounds like your first video games.
Exactly.
When you're stuck in the texture.
And that's why we have a man in the loop, where it's in 2 intersections. One, when someone submits something, so we have our own architectural team, professional, that have a look at it, see that it makes sense. And if it doesn't, go back to the customer and say, okay, what about A, B, and C? And then at the end of the process, we also, every plan that is being generated by QBIQ, there's an architect that vetted that plan. So you know that everything you're getting, someone looked at it, fixed if there needed to be issues fixed, but you know that it's been vetted by an architect, because lots of our customers aren't professional in that aspect. They have no architectural background, so they don't know even if it's a good or a bad plan. That's why they feel comfortable when they know that an architect has vetted the plan that is sent out to them. So those are the 2 main things: the man in the loop and the non-professional users.
So basically, it is AI-based solution, but still professional architects just reviewing everything to see does it make sense to provide a solution. Is that correct?
It not only makes sense, there's no issues with it. If imagine like you have a huge financial firm, let's say Deloitte, and they're looking for you to do a space for them, and they see a chair in the middle of the corridor or a desk in the middle of the wall. They're not going to use it. They're just going to laugh at you and just throw it out. You have to have that person reviewing everything that's coming out and making sure that everything is aligned. Everything. That's the.
I'm not questioning the profitability and beneficiality of this solution because I've seen the numbers like 40%, and you said there's 60. So yeah, it definitely works. It's just AI based, and I'm just wondering how much is your solution AI based. When did you guys decide to use the AI? You said that you had experience before it became a trend to use the AI,
Yeah.
but is that was AI based solution straight from the beginning, or you
Yes.
implement the AI at some step?
The man in the loop became something down the road that we decided to do. In the beginning, we only did AI, everything was generated automatically. And from feedback that we heard from customers, we said, okay, we need someone to review these plans. We have to have someone in house. And that's why we changed from the being completely just AI to having a man in the loop as well. That was the change that we did. There are lots of the automation and AI in our process. There's lots of things that are fully automated. Let's say for the example of the virtual tour, that's completely automated. Once you have a layout, it provides you the virtual tour that's completely automated. You have many different type of technologies inside our tech stack that are completely automated. What is that I think will always be is like you can't have something that is not 100% in that industry. Yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. And another question regarding the customers. Uh, is that like a one-time product that people getting for one-time solution, or you work with some companies consistently and you provide this information, and how that part works? Is that something monthly based fee solution, or it's a one-time payment solution? Can you please uncover that part?
So it depends on the nature of the customer. When it's a repeating business, let's say an architectural firm, a design and build, or a large owner, or a co-working company, or a JLL Cushman, those real estate firms, it's subscription. They know that they're going to need an X amount of volume per doesn't matter day, month, quarter. So they're buying a subscription of square amount of square footage, and that's how they use it, just as a regular subscription side. The one time is when you have someone small who just has one vacant space now, and he won't be needing anything else, so he just buys for that vacant space.
Okay, that sounds good. And talking about AI in general, you already mentioned that it is AI based solution. However, that's a man in the loop. And what do you think about AI at this stage? How useful AI is? Is that co-pilot, add-on, or potential replacement for the human?
So I love that question because I think that people are missing between the lines there. There's lots of things that you can automate, you make AI, and usually in the past, nothing was replaced by a real person. It was usually someone who's leveraging the technology. So that's on the first side where most of the positions won't be replaced by automation. It will be replaced by someone who's using automation because he just makes him much more efficient. But on the other side, I think what people are missing is that AI will affect a lot of things in our life, and we have no idea the type of jobs that it will create. I see people guessing, but they're taking the world that they know and trying to figure out how it will change. But it won't be the world that I know. And I'll give an example. An example I've given. Let's say cloud. When cloud was, if you go into a high tech firm and you say, okay, let's say cloud wasn't invented, how many of these departments wouldn't exist? No customer success, no product management, no DevOps, and let's say 90% of the SaaS companies will be closed if there wasn't any cloud. Now, I don't think that the person who invented cloud thought that he's making a customer success position. I don't think anyone connected those dots. So that's exactly it. We have no idea the possibilities, and that's always I tell also my daughters, my wife even, like, use as much as you can these technologies because the people who are going to use it are the people who are going to win. The people who are not using it will be left behind. You see that you had cycles like, let's say, the internet 20 years ago when my parents weren't using online internet, no big issue. If they're not using it today, that's a big problem. Buying
Oh yeah.
tickets, Amazon, anything. Now with AI, so that's a 20-year period that affected their lives. But AI, I think, will be like a 5-year period or a 3-year period. So if you're not using it, you'll be left behind. And that's why, and that's going to what you said, there'll be so much things automated in so many different aspects. And it's just, we can go and dive deep into things that I think it will affect the real estate, like predictive analytics for property valuation, personalized property recommendation. Imagine going on CoStar. You don't care if it's like don't care what's existing. You give a program, and it looks for a space that can fit your program. Imagine those kind of things could revolutionize all the real estate industry.
Yeah.
I hope that answers your question.
Some brokers just got scared.
That's exactly the brokers going to use it are the ones who are gonna get the business. That's what people need to get. The people who are using the technology are the ones who are going to win.
Yeah, we just came back from Redcon, and at that conference, that was one of the main topics that people discussed. That if you're not gonna implement AI now, maybe in a 5 or definitely 10 years, you will be out of the market. You'll be left behind, and people just need to realize that they need that technologies, and that technology will push their businesses forward and make all the process more streamlined and more efficient. And it's good that people talking about that, because as we know, and what we notice, that real estate and let's say PropTech domain is very old fashioned. People still running documentation on paper, still people thinking that if they can make money like this now, it will be forever like that. But market is changing. And talking about the changing of market, how do you think AI will change the real estate market, let's say in a 5 years? It's just your personal vision.
So my personal intuition, I think there'll be lots of things that you can, regarding the property, about what large data can do for you. For example, I believe that you can go now, if you go with a camera on the floor, you can get you can get a replicate of a digital twin of the space. But imagine you can walk with a camera and it tells you the ventilation issues, the cracks, the things that you can really analyze the property about, what's currently there and what needs to be fixed. Looking back at even when it was constructed, probably there'll be cameras so they can focus and understand what's going on and connect the dots. It's anything that dynamic pricing. Imagine that. Let's say e-commerce today has dynamic pricing, but real estate doesn't have dynamic pricing. Maybe it could have. There's lots of things that I think like 5 years from now, I think buying an apartment, buying a space will look completely different, and you'll be much more. It's like you're making such a huge investment, a huge expense, and you're doing it clueless. It's amazing. Most people do more research on what dog to buy than buying leasing a space.
Yeah, because dog gonna be with you. I have a dog. I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And okay, and not talking about some future of 5 years. How do you think the AI can help to stand on top of trends nowadays? How it helps you guys to do this?
So what it helps us is we're also looking things about how we can use it. And I'll give you an example. One of the thing that in real estate, people usually don't know what to ask. So for example, you're looking at a space, you're saying, okay, I need like 300 people in this office. Okay, are you a high-tech firm? Okay, you're a high-tech firm. Okay, what do you prefer, like more open collaborative spaces or closed offices? So it'll be more of a assistant that can talk with you to build the programmatic requirement that you need for the space and help you search for that. I think that's something that's really interesting for us, and it just helps people really understand what they're looking for, what is needed, what's the difference between this plan and this plan. This helps you in ABC, this helps you in EFG. I think that's the thing that interests me personally and on the Cubic side.
Okay, so thank you for sharing. And another question that I have that's regarding maybe some excited plans that you guys have for the near future. Do you guys have some plans maybe to launch some new features, or you expanding your market? I know that you're already worldwide, but still, there are always no limits.
Yes, so we're always trying to test test what we can do. And one of the things that interests us is just going beyond office space. So retail, residential, logistics, hospitality, all of those different industries. And we're actually testing some of them. We want to be completely focused, do something perfectly, and then move to the next one. So we're now with a few of our customers that have office and other activities. We're working with them on let's say, for example, their retail branches, how to do that. So that's one of the things that we're really looking into, and hopefully we'll be introducing that in, let's say, 25 or 26. That's the thing that
That's pretty close. That's pretty close, and I wish you good luck with that. So, and we are slowly but surely running out of time and getting to the end of our conversation. So, and if our listeners will decide to get in touch with you, what is the best way for them to do that?
So first of all, there's two options. First of all, our website, we have always people answering, so you just feel free to leave. Or the place where I'm really active on LinkedIn. So if you have anything, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm there all the time. I post a lot on AI, especially. So I think those are the best ways to keep in contact with us.
Okay, thank you for sharing your context, and that's already our small tradition. What's going to be the final statement from you to our listeners? What would you say to them?
So as I said before, embracing the AI change. Try to think of anything that you're doing and try to think, maybe I can make it better with AI. I use it for everything. I teach my daughters math, scheduling, emails, everything. I use AIs today. Like I use it like 50% of my time using AI to help me do things better. Just try it out. I think there's lots of people who are scared to use technology. Just use it. Run with your imagination. I think you'll be amazed by the progress it's getting, and if you don't do that, you'll just be left behind, and that's unfortunate.
Okay, yeah, that's actually sounds really fair to me, and I 100% agree that AI, that's going to be the future, and the faster you will adopt the AI technologies and you will start using it, the faster you'll get to the pinnacle of the spear, of technological spear, and will get successful. So, Roy, I appreciate your time. Thank you for being our guest today. And I wish you good luck. And I'm pretty sure that you're going to launch everything that you've mentioned in 25, 26. I wish you to launch this as soon as possible. And until 26, create something else and grow even more and increase your percentage of cutting the time for the deal, not from 40 to 60, but to 80. So, thank you for being with us. Thank our listeners for being with us. And guys, we're going to launch this podcast very soon, but it doesn't mean that we're going to stop on that. We already have a few more very interesting guests who's scheduled for the next time. And we're going to talk to them very soon. And we will share with you all this information. Thank you for being with us and have a great day. Ciao for now.
Thank you so much.